Hello everyone and welcome to Cognautics, your one-stop shop for IT and computer science. So this is the first of 3 videos which is designed to cover the process flow of information. This video deals with the different sources of information, while video 2 looks at different data types and their strengths and weaknesses when used to make strategic decisions. The third and final video explains how the flow of information may be represented using a data flow diagram. Over the course of these videos, you will learn about the different origins of information, as well as the different types of data that may be organized into information. We can condense these 2 areas down into data sources and data types. Once you have a firm grip of where information comes from and what form it may take, that should enable you to make judgments on which data type and which data source are most appropriate for a given purpose or context. In other words, what information do you need and where do you get it when you're trying to answer a particular question? In the examination, the ability to justify the use case of a particular source or data type for a given context is paramount. So let's begin this journey by considering the different sources of information for a business. We can subdivide this into information that's already held by a business, known as internal information, or information that's held outside the business by others, and that's called external information. Before we consider whether you select internal or external information, let's turn our attention to why a business might need information in the first place. There is, of course, always a reason or a justification for businesses requiring information. Usually, gathering information is necessitated by companies needing to make strategic decisions to increase profit or to analyze risk. So let's dig down and run through the most likely scenarios that would lead a company to needing to gather information. In order to better understand markets, whether it be a market in which the company already operates or a new market that they wish to move into, businesses always need to create a model to understand how that market operates or works. If we took the example of a company which produced a perishable product like ice cream, for example, a model would enable them to better understand how weather links directly to unit sales. Companies need information to help them develop strategies to grow, especially when they lack a full understanding of the market into which they are going to move into, or perhaps a part of the market they already operate in. There is a high likelihood that any strategies developed without this knowledge will have a negative impact on realizing that strategic goal. In order for a company to grow, they need to target new customers. Specific data on customers' habits and purchasing trends would enable this goal to be achieved. To remain profitable and efficient, a company has to understand its own performance by accurately analyzing its own financial health, or when expanding through making acquisitions. And in this case, it's vital that data on the potential purchase is accurate, relevant, and up to date. Information allows companies to manage risk effectively. Understanding market trends over a number of years or even decades allows companies to be able to mitigate against making poor judgments, those judgments that may damage the profitability or even the future of the company. Companies must innovate to survive. Data allows companies to spot trends in the market, and in doing so pinpoint potential gaps that may allow them to increase market share, to move into existing markets or develop new markets altogether. Lastly, if a company has detailed and timely data on information concerning their own operation, it allows them to build an effective supply chain, making cost efficiencies in the process and reducing their overheads. It's clear that companies need data. We now understand how data is of paramount importance for all companies in pursuit of achieving their strategic goals. Make sure you've committed to memory a list of the justifications for needing data. These will be really helpful when justifying a company's need for data in any essay question. Let's look at internal data and explore some examples of this particular data source. We already know that internal data is data generated by the company itself. Sales figures, financial reports, production figures, wages paid to employees, and profit and loss accounts all represent the lifeblood of any company's internal data. Some or all of these figures will be amalgamated into an annual report produced by a company. Now, this sort of data is really helpful for shareholders to make their decisions. You may now wish to think back to the justifications we gave earlier for companies needing to collect data and consider how many of these internal data sources would help to make key decisions on creating models, developing strategies, targeting customers, and so on. External data, on the other hand, relates to information or data which is generated outside the company. For the sake of clarity, let's make sure we understand the difference between data and information. Data can be considered as raw facts or figures, while information is that data organized and put into context. External data comes in many forms, such as weather data, governmental data, external research information, publicly available data sets, annual company reports, or trade journals. These are just some of the examples, and that's by no means an exhaustive list, but it gives you a flavour. You can already identify how these types of data could play an integral role in allowing a company to spot market trends, target customers, or develop new strategies. Hopefully, these pieces of the jigsaw are starting to help you form a mental model of the relationship between data, information, and decisions. I hope you found this video useful. Please click on the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be the first to see new content. Bye bye.